Not even on the page. Ah, here we go. Alright, here we are. I'm in a really good mood tonight. I'm really looking forward to finishing this story. I open my mouth, but nothing comes out. Instead, it is Edgar who screams. This turns out to be a very good thing indeed, because all at once I hear a thundering noise from below, and I know Herman the dragon recognizes the kid's voice and is coming in. Damn and blast, yells Thin Tommy, using very bad language for kids to hear. What the hell is that? He further inquires, rushing to the door. It's a dragon, squeaks It's a dragon, squeaks Edgar. It is the dragon, all right. From the sound, I can tell he is smashing the bar. Also Bertram and Roscoe. Thin Tommy runs down the stairs very fast. Hell's bells, he growls. Hell's bells, he growls. It's a dinosaur. Evidently Herman does not like anyone to call him names, because he lets out a roar like an exploding boiler, and there is a terrible crash. Then Thin Tommy... Oh my God. Then Thin Tommy begins to shoot. With his equalizer, probably. I still would like to know what an equalizer is. If anyone can tell me, that'd be fucking great. I head out the door and make the stairs. Thin Tommy is shooting at the dragon, and the dragon is not paying the proper attention at all, merely coming right on for the stairway with his eyes gleaming very bright and a tongue of flame shooting out his mouth. In fact, he starts several fires on the way. All right. Thin Tommy reaches down on the stairway and picks up a keg, which he hurls at Herman's head. It smashes on his nose, and I see that the keg is filled with whiskey. The result is very unfortunate, because Herman's breath sets the alcohol on fire and a tongue of blue flame leaps up. Besides, Herman is not used to hard liquor, and he lets go with a burp that does Thin Tommy no more good than a bomb explosion. Good. In fact, this is just what happens. With one loud blast, the room turns red, the rafters shake, the air is filled with smoke, and when it clears away, I am staring down into a mass of flames. Thin Tommy is gone. I turn around and rush into the bar room. I turn around and rush into the bedroom. We gotta get out of here, I yell. The joint is on fire. Then I notice for the first time that Edgar is very unhappy about the whole thing, because he is still handcuffed to the bed. Right then and there, I have to make up my mind about a lot of things. About Edgar, and about the dragon, and about $1,000,000. Which I do. It is not easy. What comes next is not easy to do either, and it is a dirty trick on poor old Herman. But it just has to be. The explosion is terrific, but it puts the fire out. And so, half an hour later, I finally get the handcuffs off and Edgar and I crawl down the stairs and out of the joint. It is still smoking a little, but the fire is out. That's that, I tell him. And it is, because just then the sirens roar, and I see Larry and Archie and J. Carver Carson arriving with the cops. When it is all over, we go back to the farm. I still don't understand it, J. Carver tells me. Edgar here says you get rescued by a dragon, and there is no dragon. Lucky the cops don't see any, I say. But what happens to it? It's simple, I answer. There is only one way to get Edgar out of there with the place burning down. That is to put the fire out somehow, which I do. I grab a fire extinguisher and toss it. Get the fuck out. Down Herman's throat. Forgot my lights. Where were we? Alright. So, we just found out that some cunt threw a fire extinguisher down a dragon's throat. Yes. Naturally, poor Herman explodes. It wrecks the joint, but it stops the fire right away. The only trouble is, it also wrecks Herman. So now there is no longer any dragon left. That is a very heroic thing to do, says J. Carver Carson, like a fuckwit. And I am grateful to you for it. Naturally, there is a reward. I shake my head. All of a sudden I feel very sad when I think of poor old Herman. I walk into the barn and the others shuffle along. Fuck. Fuck. Just think of it, I mutter. Only this afternoon I have $1 million dragon on my hands. Now I have blisters. I can almost see him here now, sitting in the hay and eating a keg of nails, a couple chicken crates of sandwiches. Poor Herman. Larry gives me a funny look. What do you call the dragon? He asks. Why, Herman. I think you make a mistake, he tells me. So do I say. The poor thing does not even feel good this afternoon, and then I take him out and extinguish him. I mean, you make a mistake when you call the dragon Herman, says Larry. There is a reason the dragon does not feel good today, I bet you. Also a reason why it should not be called Herman. What do you mean? I ask. Take a look, says Larry, pointing at the hay. They're back at the barn? Okay, yes, they're back at the barn. Before the dragon left here, it laid an egg. Sure enough, laying there in the hay pile is a big, round egg about 3 feet long. So that is the way it turns out after all. Larry and Archie and Edgar and J. Carver Carson are all lying down in the barn trying to make the egg hatch. If it does, I make $1 million. If it does not, well, I cook breakfast pretty soon, and I will be eating the biggest omelet in the world. Who knows? There you have it. We've reached the end of The Eager Dragon by Robert Bloch. So, what have we learned from this story? We've learned that cruelty to animals is fucked up, and even though the animal is imaginary, it makes it no less fucked up, and pisses me off no less. I wonder about this story. I don't think Robert Bloch is stupid. I think he was trying to say something. It's almost like a comment on just the fucking stupidity of people and fucking up the chance of a lifetime. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe it just is what it is. Yes, poor Herman, indeed. Herman was a girl. Yeah, it almost was a little bit like just the stupidity of people. I think I'm going to have another glass of wine. While you're here, let's have a look for the next story we're going to be reading in the Weird Tales. Wine and Weird Tales. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed that. I did enjoy that. It was good writing. Very good writing. So what was that? That was January 1943. And we're going up by years. There's plenty of stories to read, so it's very exciting. What was that? January? July 1943. We can go to the next month. Now then, we have, in the story order, story 1 is his last appearance by, I won't say who it's by, who gives a shit. 2, The Unfriendly World. 3, Return of the Undead. 4, The Street of Faces. 5, Lost. 6, The Scythe. 7, Legacy in Crystal. 8, Yours Truly, Jack the Ripper. 8, no, that was 8. 9, Tamara, the Georgian Queen. 10, Strange Music. 11, Desert Dweller. 12, Superstitions and Taboos. 13, The Eyrie, no. 13 and 14 are always like a Weird Tales Club thing, and 14 is cover. So, yeah. Thanks for joining me. I think this was a good story. It was a good read anyway. It was more, it was better paced than the last one. The last one was a little verbose and just fucking flowery and shit. This one, I don't know. I like Robert Bloch. I think he's good. Yeah. Just speaking of Manly's, the last story by Manly Bannister. Really pisses me off when it stops recording in the middle of a sentence. Speaking of Manlys, as I was saying, Manly Bannister's not the only Manly that wrote for Weird Tales. There was also a Manly Wade Wellman. I think I've read one of his stories, but I can't remember what it is. It's probably on the blog thingy that I was doing with the fucking website, Spooky Breakfast. I had fun with that. I should probably continue just, writing reviews for Weird Tales. Although, now I'm reading the Weird Tales, like, what's the fucking point, right? I think I'm gonna have another glass of wine, and, I don't think this video is very long yet, so maybe I'll come back in and, just tell you some more fucking stuff. I don't know about what. We will choose. We will choose our next Weird Tale. So my storage was fucking up and I was doing stuff and you don't care. So where were we? What was I saying? We're gonna choose Weird Tale. I was in 1943, but I think to make myself feel better I've gone to 1944. And for that we've got, we've got January, July, September and November. Alright. It's my third glass and this will be it for the night. Yeah, well. So we'll probably do January 1944 and for that issue we've got... We've got 9 stories. We've got Bon Voyage, Michel. Dimensional Doors. That's 1 and 2. 3 is The Master of Cotswold. 4 is The Golden Goblins. 5 is The House of Hate. 6, He Came at Dusk. 7, The Hidden Player. 8, The Seashell. 9, Superstitions and Taboos. Yeah, I don't know, I'm probably going to pick one myself, but you're welcome to, leave a comment in this one and let me know if you have one that you want me to read. I would love that. I would love to read one that somebody wants me to read. I'd also just like to say thank you to the people who voted on the Twitter poll thing. I honestly, those things are fucking stupid, but it happened. We did it. It was there. I really, my heartfelt thanks to the person who voted I don't care. It's wonderful. I love you. I look forward to more polls in the future. Except I don't really give a shit. I am looking forward to reading you a Seabury Quinn story, because those get fucked up, and it's good. I mean, not in like, you know, in a way you don't want it to, but in a way you do. If that makes any sense, which it probably doesn't. Hey Teddy, yeah. Well, I don't think there's anything more for me to say tonight. I still feel like recording, but I won't, because sometimes you can do too much. Alright, well, I've had a good time reading this story. It was sad, but, you know, I think it does illustrate the stupidity of humans and possibly just what people will do for money, or not. I don't know, fuck. I really have been drinking too much lately, which is funny because I hadn't drank for a whole drink. Hadn't drank. It's excellent. I hadn't drunk? No. Again, let me know which is the appropriate word to use in the comments below. I should know, but I don't right now. I hadn't drunk for about a year, but you know, now I'm drinking again because it's fun. And without wine, we wouldn't have weird tales. Okay, so I will go away now. No, I'll go away now. We will choose a story, won't we, Teddy? Yes. No. Thanks for joining me.